Yeah, personally, I think Jim Henson said it best when he said, "Anybody got an aspirin? We just got a cold."
Hello and welcome to another Starmen Just Watched. I'm Devin, with me is Billy.
Woo!
And because we watched the Muppet movie, I kind of want to see if we can find the documentary on Jim Henson.
Yeah.
And Jim Henson, Idea Man,
Yeah.
came out last year.
Yeah.
So, perfect.
Perfect, right?
And I learned so much that I already knew. Is how I can describe this documentary.
Wow.
Because Jim Henson, I wouldn't say was like a childhood idol, but definitely a man of interest in my childhood to almost even late adult years.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just, I love someone who can be that creative. And coming up with every Muppet, just insane amounts of creativity. And not just Muppets, Dark Crystal Labyrinth
Oh, yeah.
showed you can make crazy, creepy designs too. Like,
Yeah.
you have a range.
Yeah, and then his son came it on because he used it for Token Razor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so cool.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
But he was also just a child at heart, is also another thing I love about someone who's that creative. He always had the next thing planned.
Yeah.
That's why I was interested when they talked about Labyrinth, because I knew Labyrinth flopped when it first came out. And that, I was like, that has to be devastating, because I know Jim really wanted that.
Yeah.
He put his soul into that.
Yeah.
And didn't faze him.
No.
He's like, yeah, that sucked, and I feel bad for it, but I got this working now.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it, but I do love the Muppet Show's origin story. But, simple plot, Billy, of the documentary.
Oh. The Life and Times of Jim Henson.
So, we get a little bit of his childhood.
Yeah.
Where, I guess, like, he was a rural kid.
Yeah, Mississippi, I think they said?
Mississippi. I believe is what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, a quiet individual?
Yeah, like,
They kind of quickly did his childhood.
yeah, like, they
Because
just...
I don't think there's anything really remarkable.
No.
His older brother was his best friend, so that says a bit about his interaction with other children.
Right.
Trying to think, was there anything else in there, but not really.
No, then just he goes to college, and then he pretty much took over the...
College class he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, college class on puppetry. And he always had design ideas, story ideas, and just knew how to get everyone excited and interested in them.
Yeah.
That was Jim's superpower in my mind.
Right? Like, just like, you're gonna be interested in this, and...
Yeah, you're going to be interested in it. I'm not going to force you to be interested, but the way I'm going to explain it, you're going to be freaking interested in it.
Yeah.
And I wish I had that kind of influence.
Oh.
That would be amazing.
Right? Like...
So, the plot.
Like...
It's hard to do a documentary
Documentary
because, like, there's no scene to scene.
No.
But it's like the next thing is like. So, we kind of start out with the earlier years of
Sam and Friends.
Sam and Friends, yeah.
And then his commercials.
Yeah, which are always fun. They're so mean-spirited.
I know.
Like, I know Nostalgic Critic did the Wilkins coffee, but go look at others.
Yeah.
There's so many other ones that are just as mean.
And just be violent.
Yeah, mean and violent. That's what those commercials are.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wish these were commercials these days. I would buy whatever products to advertise it like that. I don't want to get shot.
No.
It's Wilkins coffee. I'm going to get that right now so I'm safe.
Yeah, they just drink Wilkins.
Or you just don't know. I also love Kermit was there from the start.
Yeah. Made from a jacket of his mother's.
Yeah. And a cut-up ping pong ball.
Yeah. For his eyes. That's humble beginnings.
Yeah. And he wasn't a frog.
No.
He was just a green guy.
The green guy. He was never labeled as a frog until later.
Yeah. Once he got the collar thing.
Yeah. Right.
Then, this is where I found it interesting, because he does Sesame Street.
Yeah.
After the commercials and all that.
Yeah, then they had they had the bit on the Jimmy Dean show where they first introduced Ralph the dog.
Yes.
Which I like they do. I remember seeing a clip there from the show where they do a parody of the song Big John.
Yeah.
Like Big Bad John's like Big Bad Dog. And
yeah.
I was thinking, that's...
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah. So this was Jim's greatest but worst idea ever.
Yeah.
Was the Sesame Street.
Those streets.
Yeah.
I don't think he technically created it. They just brought him onto the... Did he?
No, he didn't create Sesame Street. There was the executive educational board. That
Yeah,
did that. He just did the puppetry and Muppets for it.
Yeah. Double checking this.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah, by the way, what is a Muppet?
Well, it'll be actually funny.
We finally have an answer to this.
Yeah, it's because it's not puppet and it's not marionette.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Both.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. All these years we...
No, I knew that all these years, but I wanted to see if anyone else actually knew that, or they only know the Simpsons did.
Yeah.
And every time I ask that, I always get the Simpsons.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, no, you're half right. It's not quite a puppet, but it's not quite a marionette.
Yeah, so...
Anyways, back to Sesame Street. So, unfortunately, it's a huge success. It makes Sesame Street what it is.
Oh, yeah. The show is still going.
Yeah. You couldn't have Sesame Street or Sesame Park now without the Muppets in there. And made Jim famous for his Muppets, but labeled them as preschool characters.
Yeah.
Making it harder to branch out to other ideas.
Yeah.
And Jim does not like being boxed into one category.
No, he does not.
So, he goes and tries to sell the Muppet Show to many executives.
There's different networks, but nothing.
No, they all reject them now. Like, what, isn't that like preschool? They're not going to play Muppets on prime time. It's not. It will never fly. It's not going to sell.
And then some little show in 1975 took a chance.
Yeah.
With them.
Yep. Someone over in London.
Oh no! Before on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, Saturday Night Live. Sorry. I forgot that he had a spiel on Saturday Night Live, but you go ahead and cover this.
Yeah, like it was just the Grogs? I can't remember. But it was just like the Muppets he created for it, and like he never like got along with the writers. Like some of the writers, especially Michael O'Donoghue.
Yeah.
Even like would use the famous lines like "I don't write for felt."
Yeah.
And then I don't know if this is true, just because the fictionalized movie that just came out of the first episode of Saturday Night Live, shows Jim Henson complaining that the writers tied a rope around Big Wood's neck and hung him from the door.
Yeah.
And then the guy playing Michael Donoghue was like, "Yeah, erotic appreciation. Who knew?"
Yeah. No, I was like, I don't know if that's actually true,
but I know
that he was not liked.
Yeah,
and looked down upon on the Saturday Night Live career.
Especially from Michael Donoghue, which is a comic writer and one that doesn't get enough love.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
Well, when you diss Jim Henson, I think there might be reasons. But yeah, then a London TV producer.
They had like a sound stage that was only being used. So.
No, he wants to do something with it. He's like, hey, I hear you want to make a show and I have a studio.
Yeah, so hey, let's
work together on this. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
You have 24 episodes to make.
Yeah.
So the first 24 episodes of The Muppet Show are from London.
Yeah.
Anything else after that was just picked up by other networks.
Yeah, like
carried on.
Yeah,
I don't know if he stayed in London for that.
Yeah, I don't know if they still concluded it after London, but after the first 24, then they got picked up for syndication.
Yeah. Which I would love to be any of the rejecting parties. Be the other guy beside him was like, that's the worst idea you could ever have. Like, what do you mean puppets aren't going to do anything popular? Oh, you just wait and see.
Yeah. Look, how many executives got fired after that? Soon they lost out.
Yeah.
You.
Oh yeah, no. Like, you have to go and tell your boss. It's like, yeah, I turned in the Muppets. Why? Because they're preschooler things. Huh? Have you not seen the earlier commercial stuff? You could make some freaking bank off that.
Yeah.
I still love, like, off topic, but one of the commercials I do love is the one for the trumpets. Because it's the Muppet Show, but just replace Muppet with trumpet. Because they almost rhyme.
Yeah.
So, after the Muppet Show, we move on into more dark fantasy territory with Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Which is still one of my favorite childhood movies.
Yeah, and I only for myself for the first time a couple of years ago when we watched it.
Yeah, I forced you to watch this.
Oh, well, I mean, I've always wanted to see it, I just...
Yeah. I was just like, very, like, you haven't seen it, we're seeing it.
Yeah, because I'm like, because it was one that I've never wanted to see, because I thought it was like a Muppet type movie.
Yeah.
And then like, oh no, this is not Muppets, but it's, it's made by Jim Henson. I'm like,
yeah, it is definitely not the Muppet comical humor you're gonna get, but it's still good. The puppetry is
amazing. But I like when they talk about this, how the test audience hated the fake language, the fictional language they were speaking.
Yeah, it was supposed to have its own unique language. Then the test audience was like, well, we don't understand what's going on because they're just going. Yeah. So let's cut out that fake language, redub it.
Yeah.
To the movement of the lips. We don't have time to redo those scenes.
Oh,
I was like, that's kind of refreshing. But then it was a huge success.
Yeah.
So he pulled it off.
Yeah.
Then he went to go do Labyrinth. Which, I think, I'm glad that it came around, but it was overhated, I think.
Yeah, overhated when it came out, but then, like, it shows that the end credit shows, like, Labyrinth and Dark Crystal have now become known as classics. I'm like,
yeah. I was like, Labyrinth took a little bit to get up there, but I'm happy to see that it went up there. I feel the same way. I was like, it's not as good as Dark Crystal, but I don't think it was that bad.
No, it was like...
I just think maybe the musical numbers, there's a few too many, I think.
Yeah, I think just because they got David Bowie in.
You had to do musical numbers.
Yeah. Understandable.
You don't hire David Bowie and not use his musical talents.
Yeah.
I get that. And then we're kind of coming to the end.
Yeah,
really.
Like he was introduced, like the storyteller.
Yeah.
Jim Henson hour.
And then, unfortunately, age 53 was it that he died?
Ammonia.
Untreated
ammonia.
Yeah. And that's just everyone's like, well, why didn't you go to the doctor? That's just kind of the person Jim was.
Yeah.
He probably thought he had a cold.
Yeah.
And had to get some work done before he could go see a doctor.
Yeah.
And 3 days in, went south real fast.
Yeah.
And it was just unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, no. And then you have the memorial show. Oh, that one.
Yeah. I would love to have been one of the sons or daughters that got to read the will.
Yeah.
Because he would have fought everything to the letter and would have had fun writing his will and testament.
Yeah.
And just reading that, it would bring both tears and laughter.
Right? Like
it'd be such an emotional roller coaster just to read. Then watch, like to see that funeral service.
Oh my god, yeah, just like Like, we always say some of the highlights, and it's...
Yeah. No, it is worth it.
Yeah. Like, Big Bird.
Yeah. Big Bird singing It's Not Easy Being Green.
That's...
is heartwarming in a way.
Yeah.
So, things we liked about the documentary.
No.
I don't think there's a dang thing I can say that I didn't like.
No, I mean... Like, I just loved it all. Like I said, like, Jim Henson, the Muppets, is...
Yeah.
Like, because when they talk about some of the other, things he did between, like, Sesame Street and the next thing.
Yeah.
Special... I can't remember when it came out, but there was one special they didn't talk about, but it's, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Okay.
Was my mom's favorite Christmas special.
Oh, okay.
And I was able to track it down for it on DVD one year.
Nice. Good job. No, I'm trying to think of anything that stood out, but I still love how well the Muppet Show did.
Oh,
despite everyone saying it's not going to do well.
No.
I always love those stories where it's like the corporations don't know what they're talking about.
No.
If a million executives tell you your idea is stupid, don't give up on it.
No. Just take it, shove it down their throats,
and watch it become a success because they don't know anything.
No.
These days, I'm going to say.
Yeah, no.
And audiences are hard to read. You can't make a graph that shows what audience are going to be into.
No, like they try, but you guys can't.
No. Okay, things we didn't like about the documentary.
Nothing.
No.
Like
I just said, I was like, I don't think there's a thing I can say that I didn't like.
No. I am just so glad that the Muppets still continue.
Yes. It would have been easy just to shut the door like Jim Henson's gone. We want to honor that by not showing the Muppets.
No.
And I was like, Jim Henson would be all for keeping the Muppets alive.
Yeah.
Keeping those characters going.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, like the first thing, the major Muppet thing they did after Jim's death was Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And then you get the few specials and all that, and then...
Oh, yeah. No, like, Muppets are still strong to this day, I think. And I don't see them going anywhere in the future.
No, like, I mean, I always remember when they tried the 90s version of the Muppet Show, Muppets Tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I know that some people hate it, but I loved it.
Yeah. I think it's the original fans hated it, but newer fans would have loved it.
Yeah. I mean, what, you got Garth Brooks on it singing If I Was a Rich Man.
Yeah.
See, it gets me every time.
And who was that interviewer? Because he looked familiar, the one that kind of had the deadpan face and... You know what I mean? He got the beard, bald, white.
Oh.
They cut to different scenes of him, but he said one that stood out to me where it's like, these characters aren't... I think it's like, he said this about puppetry itself. It's not an art form that can ever fully die. He'll just crawl back from the crypt.
Oh! Orson Welles.
Yeah. Thank you.
The thing was like, interviewer... Oh my god, yes. Orson Welles. The guy from the end of the Muppet movie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I've seen him somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he's Lord.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's true. I was like, puppetry, everyone has this hate or love to puppetry.
Yeah.
But I was like, puppetry will always be popular some way, somehow.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts before we wrap up.
I mean, like I said, this documentary really brought back all memories.
It did. I was like, oh yeah, I've read all those movies.
Yeah.
Like, even before. And all the movies afterwards. I know there's a lot of new Muppet stuff I have not seen.
Yeah.
I just haven't been into Muppets since I guess the Muppet Show, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think most of the ones I have ever seen, like the few theatrical ones that came out after Christmas Carol, I think the only one I didn't see in the theater was the 2011 Muppet movie.
Fair enough. So with that, though, we'll call the episode here. So, as Jim put it best, if you don't know how to end an episode, end it with a bang.